Up. What is up? So what we have here is the dual drive coil that I built specially for this situation. And everything's still intermingled a lot. I mean, I'll show you what I mean. It's pretty neat though, because it does increase the power. So what I noticed, because I've got two LEDs, they're big LEDs, hooked up right now, one to each circuit, and I was just seeing the output, the difference in output. Even though I got a 10-turn pot right here. Let me see if I got everything I need in the pot in the shot. Yeah, I do. Okay. So I got a big pot right here. I got a 10-turn pot right here. And this will affect the output of both lights. Twist this a little bit. And that's for this circuit. But you see you got both circuits and all the wire going into one place. So it's neat, the reaction that you get. So we're putting a little bit of resistance on the circuits, both circuits. That's the other potentiometer. Let me see if I can get the outputs in the shot as well. That would be important considering, oh shit. Excuse my French. I just had something pop out. So we're gonna put this.
Okay, go with me.
Okay, where you going? Awesome.
Alright.
Eat something for me. I say go ahead and eat for me. There's one. You see that? Let me turn it a little bit this way. The other one's in that lampshade. And I'm back. So we're gonna look at see if we can see the difference. Maybe if I turn off the overhead, let's see. No, it's in the window. You really can't see it that well.
There's like the sun is reflecting off magnets, man. It's a cool look.
It is?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, that's the light. Okay, I see. Yeah, that light is cool.
In the back?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is neat. Heck yeah, it does look cool, especially like looking at it for real. It's like, whoa. Anyway, it seems like the more resistance we put on, the brighter the light gets. We're down to 12.4 volts in on this power supply at 0.4 amps. So 400 milliamps on this power supply, which is this circuit over here. And then this circuit right here is drawing, I think that's right. Let me double check that. No, this circuit right here is drawing what I said before. 12.4 at 400 milliamps. That circuit over there is drawing a lot more. Oh, that's 15 though. Huh. I think I was doing 15 volts, a little like an experiment with 15 volts. There we go. It doesn't make sense. I could have turned this one up to 15 and that one, and I could have done it the other way, but I just decided to turn it down to 12. I don't know if you can hear it. Maybe if I zoom in on it, you can hear what I'm zoomed in on. Let me know if you can hear the difference. Can you hear the motor at all? I'm not sure. It's very, very low. Anyway, the output, both power supplies went down when I turned the potentiometer for one circuit. Come on, Tiggs. Gonna be good? Don't play with the wires, okay? I'll leave the door open so you can come and go. Alright. Let me plug in the phone. Gotta jack it up real quick.
Brian said the volume of sound for me is always really low. Use your mic to hear it.
Okay, let me.
See if it changes.
I took it off the tripod. You can hear it now, right? So that's going the wrong way, I would assume. So that's a lot of noise coming from the motor right now. But the resistance is really high. It's really tight. I've turned it to the right, like almost all the way. 10 turn pot. So yeah, and this light over here, all the way out. Like nothing coming from that light right there. So I'm gonna back it off. Whoa, I'm gonna back it off. Now the coil is 830 turns of two strands of 20 and two strands of 32. So it's a real beefy coil, in my opinion. So it needs probably a little bit more than 12 volts to work effectively. See, I'm going to take the resistance like almost all the way out of the picture here. It's going to get going pretty fast, but you know it can get going faster than that. Did you, if you could hear the change there. I mean, it's a 10 turn pot, so it's really hard to like zero in on the change. Whew! Look at that. That was a great pickup in speed right there. Nice. Alright, I'm gonna put the... So there's like no sound coming from it right now. I'm gonna put it back up on the tripod. Alright. So I think that's pretty good right there. If I take it off anymore, it's gonna go, the amps are gonna go way up. I don't want that. We're gonna leave a little resistance on there. And then, you know, you got the potentiometer for the other circuit. And when you tighten that one up, both lights adjust the same way as this one does. So it's like you got two potentiometers worth of adjustment that you can do. So really it needs very little resistance to start out. As you can see, it's moving faster with the little resistance. The numbers aren't that high. I mean, it could be higher. I've seen them go way higher than this. So you got 12.6, 0.6 amps coming out of both of them basically. 0.7 over here, but you know, they're pretty equal on the draw. I don't see it like a tremendous benefit really to, you know, running it this way. I think it's pretty cool. It's a little bit more complicated to adjust. But you know, if you take the time, it'll work out. It's just that, you know, you get the double potentiometer, you get the double power supply. I want to hook up the signal generator, but I don't want to have any like of the stuff that happened before happen this time, where the transistor like blows out and you get a contact. I gotta find a better way to hook it up. That's what I gotta do. And I want to put it on my trigger strand, or maybe like hook up two PWMs. I had them lying around somewhere. No, I run with this wheel, and then I got the other 3-magnet wheel. That has the ceramic bearings. It runs really well on this too. Oh, there you go. There's a spot right there. You know, just like a couple of ohms resistance. Easy to push through, but just that little resistance adds so much more like power to that push. Because once it gets it strong enough to push past the resistance, it's going at a whole nother velocity than it would have been without the resistance there. And this is a total, currently, the way it is right now, is a total waste of energy. I am like running 2 light bulbs to see how the energy is flowing through the system off of 2 power supplies that are plugged into the wall. I am planning on hooking up 2 separate closed loop systems on this thing. I'm just doing some preliminary testing, and I found that it's very commingled. I'm going to try and get a 10-turn pot to fit on this other circuit so that I can get equal adjustment. So cool. I think it's great. I think I've spent a lot of time in the sun. I spent a lot of time in the heat, and I'm not used to it, so I might be a little spaced out. My apologies if I haven't been, straightforward. Not like I've been lying or anything like that, but like I haven't been, I might have omitted some information accidentally. All I'm trying to say is that I'm woozy. I may or may not have. Anyway. So, like I said, it's been really hot lately. And I think it's affected my mind a little bit. That's all I mean. So we're gonna twist this knob. We're gonna turn up the resistance. Look how bright the light's getting. That's awesome. This one's still pretty dim though. The one that's coming off, the one that doesn't have the reverse diode is very dim. Well, these things had like dials that came with them, but they just didn't fit, or the turnbuckle didn't work, or something wasn't right with it. So I'm just using the knobs instead of like putting the decorative knob on it with all the numbers and stuff. I just turning the crank here. It's alright, like you want to send me the wrong knob? That's cool. Maybe I just don't know how to use it, put it together. I mean, using it's pretty easy.
Mike Dawes in the house.
Hey Mike, what's up? We got the dual drive set up. We got two potentiometers. The only difference is one's a gen mode, one's not. So I can't run it on the batteries just yet. I'm gonna try and see if this one will work, but the switch is, you know, it's not really in there, but we'll see if it runs. This part, it pops out. But I shoved it back in there. We'll see if it runs.
He says I have not replicated gen mode yet. Know that.
Okay. So yeah, this is about 12 volts of power parallel. So what I'm gonna do, since it's 830 turns of 20 gauge for the drive, I'm gonna turn it up to 16. No, 15. I'm gonna turn it up to 15. I'm going to turn up this resistance a little bit.
Should use a battery as a source, not a power supply. This way you can return the flyback to the battery. Returning flyback to the power supply. Fried the supply.
Yeah, nothing's fried. I'm not doing that. As soon as I get another gen mode or another, so I can run the same circuit, I will hook it up to the battery. But right now the output is hooked up to the lights, and I'm using the lights to determine how the resistance is playing a part in the output by using my visuals.
How many amps of output?
Output right now, it's 700 milliamps parallel right now at 15 volts. I'm not measuring any output at all right now. It's not really about that right now. The only output is the light. That's the only output that I'm measuring right now is how the light changes when I play with the potentiometers. And I'll reiterate that as often as I need to. All right, here we go. Now it's 600. So it's slowing down pretty much, like a lot. But I'm gonna keep putting on the resistance for now. See, both power supplies are being affected by me playing with this one potentiometer. Now that, I think that is awesome. At the same time, I know that in the coil, everything's intermingled because of proximity. All right, this is 800, 900. And I've noticed that the circuit without gen mode, like the straight SSG circuit, has got a very dim output compared to the one with gen mode. But then again, they're both like intermingled through the circuitry itself. It's all happening inside the coil. Yeah, I'm not trying to charge I'm not trying to do anything like that right now, man. I'm just trying to do the light thing, man. I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm testing out the coil, man. I think the coil is great. The coil is like it's a correction of mistakes that I've made in the past. Really cool, I think. Turn it back down to 12. And it's all right because it's kind of like an oscillating circuit on the output because the light is basically an oscillator. You know, it goes out, it dumps into the light, and it comes back. And it's pretty much just a little loop right there, the output. I mean, that's not essentially what it would be called, but in my mind, that's what it is. But yeah, when I hook up the battery and I hook up the output to another battery, I will definitely be doing that. But as you can see, the SSG light is not on. This is a perfectly okay way to run the setup. I mean, sorry if I'm not on the same page as everybody else, but I think this is awesome. So that's great. That's a great input right there. That's 12.3, 600 milliamps. Wow. Alright. I don't think it would work setting it up with one of them being an SSG and one of them being an SSG gen mode. It wouldn't. I know exactly what would happen. It wouldn't even be an experiment. One would generate less than the other. Straight up. And considering that they're both going to be the speed, the accumulative speed will be applied to both circuits. So, like, if having this be an SSG makes this move a little bit faster than having it be a gen mode and a gen mode, then the speed increase will affect both circuits. But I've got it pretty much set up to run two closed loop circuits here. Each circuit will have one of these cap banks in between, because I already know what will happen if I don't put it there. And we don't need to have that. Oh man, it's like you move it over and you pop it, and it's like, okay, then it could have been a cap. But if we put it there again and it pops again, leave it alone. Leave it alone. And I remember saying that before, but it's so true. Just let it go. Smoke is gonna fly. But I think what I can do is I can put this one in place of this one, right? And I can put the potentiometer in there. Yeah, that'll work. That'll be cool. And then by tonight sometime, I'll have that set up. Yeah, so all the flyback and all that is going into the light bulbs, okay? And one has flyback and one really doesn't have that much flyback.
Brian said, try to undertow the output to the light. lights back to the input coil as well. Question.
Not sure. Secretary.
Secretary, not sure.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I understand. We were talking about undertow a little bit the other day. And I kind of get it, but I don't know. What do you do to do that? How do you get that done? Do you use a capacitor, or? And then when I do my thing with the batteries, I have to get the cap on the batteries because I noticed a little bit of static on the oscilloscope. I need to get that out of there. I need to have that cap sucking all that juice out of that. Straightening out the line a little bit. Like this one right here. Like I'll put one of these across the battery. There we go. I want to hook up the signal generator to at least one of the circuits. I mean, I have PWM somewhere, but I have the signal generator right here. It's just that I got to put it on the trigger strand, and it's a 32 gauge strand. And it's like I got to find another place to clip it on the wire. I can't clip it right at the end. So I would have to remove some enamel further up the line there and clip it up to where it wouldn't make contact, because it's bouncing right now a little bit. Now I want to put 45 hertz in.
What's that? What's that? I'm sure this is.
Alright, if you don't like using lighters, please turn away. I'm just going to remove some of the enamel. Hold on a second. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you. All right. So, and I gotta figure out. I'm blind, so this is all very interesting for me. I don't mean legally blind. I mean like blind. Well, maybe legally is what I mean. It's like I can see, but I can't see anything, man. You asked me to read a sign. I don't know, man. What do you see? What does it say? All right, let's see if that worked. Woo! All right, we're gonna turn on. It's at 45 hertz right now. Oh, is that for me?
What's that?
What's up? Thank you, son. That's awesome. So that's with 45 hertz busting through the trigger coil. Can't tell the ultimate impact on it right now, though. I think there's more torque there for sure. Huh. Would like to say thanks for all of you that have decided to swing through. I appreciate everybody that comes by and checks everything out. I appreciate the people that have a desire to build stuff. Really awesome, I think. So that's a 45 hertz sine wave being pumped into the trigger coil of this circuit, but since it's going into this all into the same coil, I'm pretty sure that both circuits are getting affected by that. Mm. Oh man, that's good. Now we can play around with the hertz for a minute. Everything looks safe. 150. So quiet, but I can hear the changes. That was a kilohertz. $80 Hz. $60 Hz. $66 Hz. That sounds good. Sounds real good. Just skipping a little bit. $69. Woo. All right, back to resistance. 66 Hz in.
Brian asked if you're going to continue working on the sculpture.
Yeah. Probably throughout the future here, I'm definitely going to be working on that. And the lids coil as well. Can set that up right now, actually. I just haven't done it yet. This little boy right here. It's gonna be fun. Cause we're gonna get some insane readings. They're gonna be like, I bet the last weird one that I got was 3.5 volts in, 3.05 volts in, 222 volts out. So like, wow, like crazy cool. And that's just from putting one coil on top of the other.
So let's design for pickup.
You would assume, but it's really lousy for pickup. And so I use it to generate the waveform, and I use this bigger coil to pick up. Because the Litz coil is not big enough in parallel. If it was bigger, it'd be better, but it's not. It's only like 25 turns on that bobbin right there, maybe 50. Maybe 50. I remember now. It's probably 50. But put this one on top of that one. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Because I did it the other way around. Or maybe you need two Litz coils. Maybe you need one to generate and one to pick up. Because I was using this coil right here to generate for the Litz coil pickup, and it was lousy. It was really bad, and that's a strong magnetic field coming off of that coil. You would think it'd be. I would have thought it would have been whipping like a lot faster than this, being a dual drive and everything. But since it's a longer coil, it's 830 turns of 20 gauge, 2 strands of that, and then 2 strands of 32 gauge. So I'm thinking it actually needs a little bit more voltage than 12 to run efficiently. Heck yeah, and then with that, I think it's 69 hertz being pumped into the trigger coil, and what I mean by that actually is that it's being pumped into this coil, because it's being pumped into one trigger coil, it's affecting the whole thing, I guarantee it. So you gotta like balance those two things too. You gotta balance, there's 2 things going on here. There's 2 power supplies, there's 2 potentiometers. There's only 1 signal generator though, but I think it's enough.
What about the layers of small ones?
You mean like stacking up littler coils to generate and making like a propagator to
Yeah, when you stack them next to it.
All right. So yeah, I think I can do that real quick even. Let me think though. What I'm gonna need for that. I'm gonna try a closed loop system with a solid state generator right now. Check it out. We're gonna check the battery real quick. What's the time?
We're on 56 minutes.
Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to do this tonight or today, maybe later on.
Yeah, he said you don't need to do it now. Just an idea for next time.
All right. Sounds good. And we'll put it on the top and the bottom. You know, we'll do a bunch of different tests. But I like the one where the Litz coils, you know, giving the impulse, and the big 32 gauge coil was getting, you know, 222 AC volts off of it. Awesome. With three volts in. It's like, how is that even possible? It's like your meter's broken, man. That's how it's possible.
Your meter is broke.
Well, I don't know about that. So anybody need some gasoline? All right, I gotta siphon it out of my car. Cause I cracked the gas can in my car. Yeah, man, it's a big bill, and it's full right now. The tank is full, and the thing is cracked, and so now it's like leaking. It's like a big old mess, man, and it's hot outside. It's really hot. So I don't know. I got a lot on my mind. It's all right though. So this is at 15 volts and about an amp in parallel. I think that's a pretty good speed right there. That's awesome. And it's got 69 hertz coming in on the trigger coil. It's literally 2.5 pound coil right there. That's awesome, man. I'll tell you. I'll show you what I put into it. That's how much was left on both the 20 gauge spools. So that's 2 pounds right there. And then the 38 gauge strands. But since most of the stuff I do is 12 volt system, you can't make it too long or it's not going to run at 12 volts. That is really bright light. But yeah, man, I'll have a nice flat surface all set up for those tests. But I am gonna want to run this on batteries while I'm doing those tests. So I do want to run the double closed loop system using this coil. So I was getting a little bit of neon bulb coming on the second circuit with that, up at 18. So 16 volt system right here. This is it. Boo-da-boo. You can hear the pulse going through there. All right, I'm gonna work with that. We're gonna try and get that to be like, we'll just play with it for a little bit. I'm trying to sync it up a little bit. $77 right now. I still hear it kicking though.
Thousand views.
Yeah. Awesome.
So we're over an hour at this point.
Okay. It's all right. It's all good. Thank you all for stopping in. I really appreciate it. Always. All right, I'm just going to zero in a little bit. It's at 86 hertz. $90. $100 hertz. So all in all, I think the signal generator helps in many different ways. It gives it a boost, changes the frequency, of course. It corrects the sine wave. And the cool thing about having all this hooked together in the same coil is that all of the parts are symbiotic now. they don't work well unless the other parts are working well. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's a complex thing. And it's a thing. One resistor works for both circuits. Both resistors work for both circuits. And how I determine that is by the light output. When I turn the pot on one, circuit, both lights get brighter or dimmer. So they're definitely intertwined. $104. I'm just expecting at one of these for it to just open up and be like, "Wah." All right, but I don't know. Just kind of chilling right now, thinking, brainstorming about what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna do. So, yeah, we'll see what's up when I come back. But as for right now, I think I got a few things on the fire and what I got on the table. So that's awesome. I'll catch you later. Peace out. Have a wonderful day. Bye now.